When they told me earlier today I was interviewing Mr. PJ Tucker, I was absolutely gassed because, in my opinion, he's one of the goats of this world. As you can see behind me, PJ, I don't know if you can see it. I've got a little kit collection. I know it's nothing like yours, but you're a big inspiration when it comes to the collector game. I want to talk a little bit about sneakers, but first, let's talk about the NBA Finals. First of all, congratulations for making it to the NBA Finals. What a run through the Eastern Conference you guys had. And what's interesting to me is you've developed this habit now of eliminating your former teammates. First of all, Trevor Ariza, James Harden, Clint Capella, and now you're taking on Chris Paul. Do you think having that experience of playing with these guys, Chris Paul and some of the other guys, it gives you a little bit of an edge? You kind of know the game better. You kind of know what the scouting report is going to be a little bit better than perhaps someone you haven't played with before?
A little bit. I mean, it's always good to go against guys that you've been against, and so you can kind of give insight to your team. But I don't know if it gives you an edge because all these guys are good players. It doesn't really. I don't think it gives you an edge. I think it gives you a little advantage to tell your teammates, though.
So speaking of Chris Paul, there were some possessions where you started off by guarding Chris Paul, I think, to anticipate the switch on the screen roll. And that's something you guys were doing a little bit against Trae Young in the Eastern Conference Finals as well. What's the difference in having to guard a player like Trae Young and having to guard a player like Chris Paul?
In NBA playoffs, all these guys are really good. They all can do it all, and they're leaders on their teams. But Trae is just like kind of a young gunner. He's just gonna go out there, pull up from anywhere. Get downhill, lobs. More of the kind of exciting thing where Chris is more just maintaining the team, making sure everybody's involved, picking and choosing spots, and just, being kind of more of a general of the team. So they're all good players, though.
I mean, you yourself are known around the league as one of the most elite defenders that the NBA has to offer. And you're often tasked with tough assignments, whether it be a small guard like Trae Young or Chris Paul, or whether it be a bigger wing scorer like a Kevin Durant, and sometimes even big men down low. How do you prepare yourself for matching up against oftentimes the opponent's best scorer?
Film, man. I watch a lot of film. I watch games. We have the analytics teams and stuff show you like where guys are trending, shots they're making, shots they're taking, shots they're missing. All that stuff matters. Watch a couple of games previous and what guys have been doing. And then just me and my insight, knowing what I know about guys already, which ways they like to go, what they like to do when they go certain ways. Like all that stuff plays on mine, and it all runs continuously in your mind in split-second decision times where you got to kind of know. It's like the difference between a guy making a shot, missing a shot, and you making it tough on them or not. So it's just part of being a defender.
Man, I absolutely love the mentality that you bring, especially on the defensive end. But as we mentioned earlier on, I do want to talk a little bit about your kicks. First of all, I want to say congratulations for the one that you've just brought out with D&G. I saw that online earlier. It looked very dope. But I wanted to ask you about something that happened in the Eastern Conference semifinals when you were guarding Kevin Durant. You actually went and started a game by wearing a pair of KDs. Was this done like to kind of play some little mind games with him? Because I know certain guys in the league if they're playing LeBron, they don't want to wear LeBrons on their feet. What's your kind of mindset into going against guys in their signature shoe?
Yeah, no, that's like, I didn't even think about that. Like, that wasn't even a thought in my mind. I had already had those in the locker room. They was coming out one way or another. I was actually breaking them in because I thought we were going to wear the blue uniform. And then we ended up wearing another uniform. So that was the only reason I ended up changing, because of the uniform change. Yeah, it's not a mind game. I've worn KDs many times against him. I wore them against him this year in the regular season. Like that, to me, doesn't matter. And he doesn't care either. Like, he doesn't care if I'm wearing the shoes or not. He's still going to score a lot of points.
Are you superstitious? Because you're a player who changes their sneakers. Like, I'll be watching you play and you go from the KDs to the Kobe 4s and then maybe a Kobe 6. Is it a superstition? What's the thought process behind when you change your sneakers during games?
I couldn't sit here and tell you how superstitious I am about my shoes. Like, that's like it would like drive you crazy if I tried to sit here and explain to you why the rhyme and reason why I do things. I don't know. It's just feelings I have, or something happens that I don't like. I'm changing, and I'll change out. And I got my guys are always ready, and they know which ones I want next. So I'm in line, which ones I want next, and it's just something I've always done.
Now, I got to ask you a question, and I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this. I don't know if you're going to want to answer this, but you pull out some sneakers that I consider impossible to get. I think I saw you with a pair. Were they the Hyper Dunks, but they were like the pair that Nike made for Pau Gasol in 2010 to match the Grinch Kobe? Like, how are you getting these?
Yeah, I've held those for a while. I've been collecting shoes my entire life. So even before people were talking about collecting shoes, I was collecting shoes. Like when I didn't even have a lot of shoes, I was collecting shoes. I've always done it. It's always been a part of my life. It always coincided with basketball. So it's like playing basketball and having my sneakers. It's like they went hand in hand, and it's just something I've always done. So over the years, obviously I've acquired some pretty crazy shoes, and I like to play in them. You know, it's not for me. It's not putting them up on my mantle and showing them off and making a museum. Like it's wearing them, it's playing in them, it's enjoying them. And I think that's the way I enjoy my shoes, is actually wearing them. So that's something that I don't know if I'll ever stop doing for the rest of my life.
Man, I respect it. I'm a big advocate of wear your sneakers. I'm a big opposition of the resellers that just get the kicks to hold them. But what's your thought process in deciding which kicks to take with you on a game day? Do you have it mapped? Have you already mapped out in your head? I want to wear these for game 2, game 3, game 4, etc. Or is it on the day you're just going to get a vibe of what you want to wear?
It's the day vibe. It's the day vibe. Our equipment manager gives me the list of the games. So each series, he'll write, games and what color uniforms and where we're at, like the whole deal. And then that day, so like right before we leave, we'll go in and we'll pick out all the shoes I want him to put in my bags. And so we'll fill the bags up just so I can have all my options for each game and go from there. And then on game day, I decide.
Man, you're living my dream, because as you can see, I've got a few kicks, but I'm aspiring to one day reach your level, because what I see is absolutely dope. Now, game 1 was a very tough battle. Obviously, you had Giannis just returning from injury. We didn't know if he'd be playing or not. That was a game time decision. And I guess Phoenix also had the home court advantage. But what's the mindset in the locker room right now amongst you guys being down 1-0 in the NBA Finals?
We're great, man. We're a light team, guys. A lot of veterans, guys have been around. I think we've been down. Almost every series other than Miami, we've been down on 1 to start the series. So for us, it's nothing, man. We're gonna play. It's a long series. Honestly, they did what they were supposed to do at home, game 1. We're just looking to still win. A series doesn't start until somebody steals one on the road. So right now, they've done what they're supposed to now. And it's about time for us to take care of business and do what we got to.
Man, I love the mindset. My final question to you is, every hooper in the world, whether you're kind of just a basic level hooper like me or a pro baller like yourself, has dreamed of lifting the Larry O'Brien trophy. When you've had those visions and those dreams of lifting up the Larry O.B., what sneakers are you wearing in those dreams?
I'm not even gonna lie. Every time as a kid, it was watching Jordan do it in Jordan. So it was always like a pair of like 88 threes. Like, man, like to me in my head, like that's how it looks, like just a clean pair of 88 threes with the Nike Air on the back. That's like,
hey.
That'll be clean.
I'm going to be keeping an eye now. So when I see you break out those threes, I'm going to know, okay, now these guys are trying to close it out right here.
I keep a fresh pair of those. So that definitely can happen.
My guy, listen, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the series. I really appreciate you taking the time to chop it up today. My best wishes for game 2 to you and the squad, and hopefully we can catch up soon.
No doubt. Thanks, man.